Don't be too quick to just make a change and try and do it cheaply. You need to do it the right way, because also the new office and things like that brings brokers to the business. It gives them a better environment. These sort of things compound into the money that they earn for the business.
How do you feel about bad attitudes?
3 things we don't stand for in the company: negativity, excuses, and brown nosing.
Today's guest, he's built a real estate brokerage here in the UAE over the last 4 years, and it's now one of the biggest here, but he's only 32 years old. His approach to business is insatiable. His ability to connect with people and teach people to understand how this market works and how you can be successful selling real estate is really unsurpassed. Is the incredibly humble, honest and genuine Callum White. What's really difficult to teach?
I think confidence is a hard one actually to teach. Confidence comes from competence comes from practice, and too many people want confidence but without actually doing the work. You have to have extreme action to get extreme results, and some people just don't have it.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of the podcast. Now, if you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet, please do me a favor. It would mean the world if you subscribed. The more subscribers we get, obviously, the better guests I can bring to you. That's always going to be my promise. I'll do my best to do that. So if you are watching on YouTube right now, please do us a favor and subscribe. Now, if you're listening on any of the podcast apps, give me a like, give me a follow, give me some engagement. Let me know what you think of the show. Do you like it? How can I improve it? What can I do better? And how can I make it better for you? The more feedback I get, the more work I can do to make this show exactly what you want it to be. So today's guest, he's built a real estate brokerage here in the UAE over the last 4 years, and it's now one of the biggest here, but he's only 32 years old. His approach to business is insatiable. His ability to connect with people and teach people to understand how this market works and how you can be successful selling real estate is really unsurpassed. We go into some really important areas. What does it take to be a fantastic real estate broker? What ingredients does he look for when he's looking to recruit people into his business? And how important he thinks mindset is to get right if you're going to be successful. This journey has been literally at 100 miles an hour for a short period of time. He's made every single mistake that every one of us knows is going to come if we haven't experienced it already. And he's gone through all of those walls, all of those doubts and all of those fears to go on to create success. So the founder of White & Co. and our guest on the show today is the incredibly humble, honest and genuine Callum White. Well, it's taken long enough, hasn't it, to get you on the show? Thanks for coming to join us, Callum.
Finally, I've been begging.
I've known you for an awful long time, since you were early on in your journey here. Just for the benefit of everyone that doesn't know you right now, just tell us how long you've been in Dubai, what you did when you first started here, who you worked for, okay, and a little bit about that journey, and then there's some important questions I need to ask you.
Of course, no problem. So I moved to Dubai around about 9.5, 10 years ago. First company I worked for was a great company called Powerhouse, PH Real Estate. Miles and Nick, great people. Learned everything I could there and enjoyed the journey, and then moved on to, the next thing and the next thing. Just through other estate agencies, I started off as a leasing broker, junior leasing broker, then moved my way to, sales broker, moved my way through to selling a bit of off-plan, then sales manager, then managing partner, then obviously the owner of my own firm. So I have seen the market at every level, both as a title, but also I've seen the market in its downward spiral. I've seen the market on its way up. I've seen it when it's only been properties falling. I've seen it right now where we're on a great trajectory, which has been a lot of fun, and it gives me a good angle to go at when we're dealing with the brokers and dealing with the buyers and sellers.
Okay. You're going to be very humble about this, and I understand that that's your character, but you've built arguably one of the most successful real estate brokerages here. It's maybe not the biggest, but it's definitely in the top 10 out of the thousands of companies that are here. So you've done a fantastic job. So surely there's a wealthy benefactor, family member that gave you a load of money to get the business started. Maybe there's a PhD, a degree in MBA, maybe it's that. What is it that you had as your advantage? What is it that was given to you that enabled you to go on and build that? Because surely you couldn't do it through grit and determination and desire.
Well, why not? No, I went to university for 3 days, and then I decided I'd rather earn than learn.
Was that through the summer holidays?
Honestly, I got a conditional offer from the university in Edinburgh because I'd wrote some big long letter. I was already working in property. It was for Napier University, to do property development and valuation. And I turned up, and on the first, I was just like, this is not for me. I'm not sitting around for 4 years to then come out of this, to then try and, it just wasn't for me. So no PhD, no, not even a degree. I was good at school as far as the skills go, but I didn't enjoy school. And then on the other side, the wealthy benefactor. Listen, if I had, you saw the office when we first opened. If I had a wealthy benefactor, it wouldn't have been that big grey box that I made you sit in, which was funny. But no, it's, you know what it is I was good at my job as a broker, and I've really loved it. I thought I've really found my calling here. So as every broker in the market will eventually find out, or have found out, one day comes where you just have that deal that goes, wow, this is really going to change things. And some people, when that deal comes, they go and buy a house, or they go and buy a few houses, or they go and buy their dream car, whatever it might be. With me, I went, this is an opportunity to go and make something of my own. Because I'd been at a few companies. Just to be clear, I'd worked at 6 or 7 companies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely.
So you bounced around?
Bounced around. And this is the thing. People shouldn't be ashamed of bouncing around if they're not finding what they're looking for. At the end of the day, if it's a company that's not paying you a salary, and I take this, obviously, I own a company now. If someone leaves the business and they've got a real reason to leave, if I've not done what I've said I'm going to do for them, then they have every right to leave, and it's my fault. So at those times, I left each of those businesses, but I saw good parts in them. They just weren't perfect for me. And now what I've done is I've tried to take the best parts of those businesses and leave the worst parts behind and make White & Co. But yeah, no, it is just down to grit, determination, being nice, and a lot of good people along the way, which might sound humble, but you know, my managing director is the same managing director as the first day. So, you know, it's he's been there that entire journey, and we've grown that entire thing together.
So let me ask this question to you then. Do you believe anybody can do what you did?
No.
Do you believe anybody with the right amount of determination, grit, and aptitude can do what you did?
Yeah. And risk appetite.
Okay, so it's possible for anyone. Okay, so then why doesn't everyone?
See, when you say it's possible for everyone, I'm very strange. I love being strange. Like, just to be clear, like I am who I am. I love what I'm all about, and I know who I am, and that's great. And people say things like that to me. Like, you're quite weird. I am, but that you have to be a bit weird to want to have the level of risk that I have every single month. You have to be a bit weird to rather work than be messing around. You have to, because the world's not like that anymore. It doesn't, like, people are so entitled these days that nowadays to work this way is weird. And that is why most people nowadays fail at things, because they give up too quickly. They just want an immediate return. And if they don't get it, it's like, oh, well, that didn't work, on to the next thing. So yeah, I think anyone can do it, but I think there's certain characteristics that you need to have to do it.
Which are?
Unrelentless confidence that you're going to be successful. Like, there's never been a moment since we opened the business that I've sat and thought this isn't going to work. And it might be times when you're sitting going like, wow, I've no money, or I've spent all this and stuff. But I was never sitting thinking this isn't going to work. I knew it was going to work. I don't know why. I just can tell you 100% in my heart.
Well, that's an interesting perspective, because I think that a lot of people, when they start a business and start growing a business, have had those times where they've sat on the end of the bed on their sofa of an evening and just thinking to themselves, shit, man, I've got to do payroll tomorrow and I haven't got the money to do it, or something serious has got to happen. Am I going to make it? You believed you was going to make it, but did you have those moments as well?
First 3 months were tough, but not to the point where I thought this isn't going to work. It was just like, we need to just follow the process. It's going to pay off. We just need to follow the process. It's going to pay off. I was in the office every minute of the day. So I was like, this can't not work, because I know that I can make it work. Like, do you know what I mean? It wasn't like I was opened a company and was like, right, off I go and let's just hope it pays off. It was like, I'm in there driving it. So if it didn't work, it would be me that's failed. It's not like I could blame other people. I'd be like, it's me. So yeah, I completely get what you're saying. And I think that definitely does happen with businesses. I'm just lucky enough that hasn't happened with White & Co.
I think when you see these people that start a business and they sit and worry and you don't, let's give everyone perspective on what we've got here, because there's a really important question I'd like everyone to learn from here, because I think this is a really important learning journey. You started the business in which year?
2021 16th of January.
So when I went into that office, that was that huge empty space, and you walked me around it, and there was like, I think 7 people in there.
Yeah.
You said, yeah, I'm going to fill this out. It's 16,500 square feet.
16,500 square feet, yeah.
There you go, remember.
Good job.
I don't know why I don't remember that. How many people do you employ now?
450 in real estate.
450 in real estate. And how many properties have you sold and leased over the course of those years? Approximately,
probably close to 15,000 maybe.
15,000 customers over that period of time.
Maybe more. You caught me off guard there, but probably, yeah.
Okay, 15,000 customers in that period of time, huge number of employees. If we went back today to that day I walked around your office with you, okay, and you were showing me everything, and you could take every lesson that you've learned so far and you could do some things different, what would you have done differently to what you've done?
Renovations, do them properly, or you're just going to have to do them a few more times and it ends up costing more.
In your own office?
In our own office.
Interesting.
Renovations, for anyone that doesn't know. So in our first year, our profit would have been around about 3 million maybe, right? Dirhams. Not great at all. But our renovation was probably 2 million and it was terrible. So it's like you've spent all that there. Now when we do a renovation, like I own a construction company as well, so it's all looked after, it's managed properly. But you find if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. And I was trying to project manage stuff myself to save money. I was trying to do this, trying to do that. I ended up decorating the whole office looking like some weird log cabin. It was crazy. So essentially I've said renovations there, but what I actually mean is don't be too quick to just make a change and try and do it cheaply. Like when it comes down to it, you need to do it the right way, because also the new office and things like that, it employs brokers, it brings brokers to the business, it gives them a better environment. These sort of things compound into the money that they earn for the business. So that was a big one. Definitely something that I've learned from, this is from another mentor of mine, but it's more, better, new. So too many people, we jump to new straight away. Something's not working, just go to new. Or you're doing well just now, how do I scale it? You have to think, I need to do something new. Right, you could do more of it. Or then you can do it better, which means you get paid more for it before you jump away to trying to do new. New for me was trying to open new departments in the business and open new businesses within the group, which didn't need to be done as quickly. Yes, it's paid off and things are going well, but I think who knows where White & Co would be if I'd focused all attention on one thing instead of spreading it across 9.
Had you known that at the beginning, maybe you could have applied that. It took you a couple of years to learn that. That's an Alex Hormozy quote.
Yes, correct. Yeah. It is. And no, but what it was is, I mean, coming into just after year 1, we started doing other things in the business to generate other levels of income. Now, there's 2 parts to look at that. One is I want brokers to earn more money, so I want them to be able to refer other parts of the business. But it is a distraction as well. So it's just, and having the right people in there. Because I'll tell you one thing, actually, this is a really big lesson. I was way too trusting. I'm not allowed to interview people myself now.
You're not allowed to interview people.
My managing director and my group operations director, I take them into interviews because otherwise I'll fall for it. I'll get duped. I'll sit there and someone will tell me they're the best thing ever and I'll go, oh, that sounds really amazing. And then I'll start talking about White & Co. I'll get excited because I'm so passionate about it and I'll be like, so anyway, when can you start? And I've made that mistake. Don't worry, it's paid off more times than it's not paid off. But I've made that mistake sometimes and we're sitting there going like, why the hell did we hire this person? Oh, that's one of Callum's ones. And we laugh about it because at the end of the day, it's me that's made the mistake. But now, and I tell people that now when we go into interviews, like we sat down and interviewed an amazing person like recently. And I said, just so you know, like it might seem like there's 3 of us here, but they're actually here to rein me in because I'll end up just giving you a job. And these people actually ask the hard questions that I don't think about. So it's 3 different angles here. And it was fun. It was a great interview. Like the person now works for us, so that's great. But there's something for you. Like the people that you hire is so important. And I'm very lucky that our business started making profit after 3 months. Like we've started flying to the moon very quickly. So therefore I had that money available. But when we're talking about sitting at the end of the bed, talking about payroll, you don't want to be paying someone you don't even want there. So that's a big worry. So there's a couple of things.
Jack Welch, in his book Winning, talks about running sales teams by using a 20-60-20 principle. So you've got your top 20% who you shower with love, your middle 60% who you treat as a group, and then your bottom 20% that you are not doing them any favors by keeping them. When I look at that philosophy across every sales team I've ever been exposed to, in whichever way, whether that was training or owning my own, okay, what I've learned is that rule is really, really important to stick to, because those bottom 20%, you're actually doing them a disservice by keeping them. What do you do when you've got people, because they're on commission only, okay, they're in your business? What do you do when you've got people that are in that bottom 20%? How do you allow them to find the end of the journey themselves, or do you get them out of the door and save them the embarrassment?
The biggest problem that we've got there is that very few of them have a come to Jesus moment. Very few of them change. Very few of them a switch really flicks. And you got to think, if I've got, let's just call it 400 for the sake of maths. I've got 400 people, and I usually use 25%, but let's say 20. So we've got 400 people, and 80 of them aren't doing what needs to be done. 80 people to cut them out of the business today can't be done. It wouldn't be the right thing to do. And at the end of the day, there might be, if there's 10% of them become good, 8 of them are going to get there. So, but what we definitely do is there's KPIs in place, there's performance plans, we don't want to give up on people before they give up on themselves, but there will be a point that we'll turn around and go, listen, it's not working out for you. We'd be doing you a disservice being here. The good thing about real estate and being commission only is this conversation. Listen, it's not working here at White & Co. You have no pending commission with us because you've not done any deals with us, and you've got the same training as ABC, who've all been here as well. It just doesn't seem to be clicking for you. If you still want to do real estate, you can go work at any other real estate company in Dubai, because White & Co is now on your CV. And guess what? It might pay off better for you there. You might need something that's different from here, but it's not going to work here. We're really sorry, and we wish you all the best. That conversation does come eventually, but we like to give them at least 3 months. I'm not going to lie and say it's like they come in and we go, that person's not right for it. Let's get them out the door. We give them a chance, because they've usually moved 5,000 miles to get here. Into the office. My name's on the door, and I don't want the reputation of just flying people over going, oh, you're not right for it, and out the door, especially when you never know if they can turn it around. I love a come to Jesus moment. I love seeing them turn it around, but it just doesn't happen as often as people would wish.
Okay, folks, let's talk about real estate. Now, a recent partnership that we've just established on the podcast is with AYS Developers. Luxury properties with high-end finishes from people that really understand the subject. Often in Dubai, you'll find stuff that is maybe substandard. With AYS Developers, you're not going to see that. You're going to see fantastic properties that you can buy, you can invest in, you can make a home on Dubai Islands and other places too. So go visit aysdevelopers.ae and check them out. I promise you it'll be worth the trip. How do you feel about bad attitudes?
3 things we don't stand for in the company: negativity, excuses, and brown nosing. I say that on the first day of every training. So every single new starter session that comes in, I do a talk on the first day. I go in for about an hour and a half, put the scares up them, and I'll run through this thing, and I always come back to those 3 things that we don't. You no excuses, okay? If you're late, you're late. Just tell us you're late and get on with it. We'll say sorry. That's it. Job done. We don't need to hear about how your dog ate your shoes and so on and so forth. We're adults in a workplace, okay? Negativity in a sales environment, walking around telling everyone about the deal you lost. You're just going to spread more negativity. Walking around going, oh, is the market really as good as everyone says it is? I don't know. Have you done a deal yet? Oh, you've not done a deal either. Well, I've not done a deal. You've not done a deal. Maybe it's not for us. That's not how we operate. You have a bad day, you go home, watch some Netflix, eat some ice cream, and come back in tomorrow with a smile on your face. Because that's what good brokers do. And brown nosing, I just hate it. And you'll know as well, but managers, for anyone out there that's one of these people, we can smell a brown noser miles away. Want to ask me about my golf handicap and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, hold on, you've never even asked me about work and how I can better your bank account, but you want to ask me about my golf handicap? Are you stupid? I tell them on their first day, I say, don't stop me unless it's to ask about work until you've done some deals. Because any time spent with me is valuable, and I don't want to be talking about golf or the gym or anything else. I want to be talking about how I can help make you some money. Because I'm here to make you money first. I'm here to be your friend second. Okay, that's my job, is to better these people's lives. And it doesn't come from talking about golf handicaps and stuff like that. So those 3 things are really important to me. I'm sorry it's a bit of a long-winded answer.
No,
but,
it's really good.
Those 3 things on day 1, I set that standard and I actually do it myself so that I know that it's been said. That's why that's so important to me.
When you look at, if you and I were to sit and whiteboard out or flip chart out the perfect real estate broker, what they look like, what we're looking for in our perfect recruit, that perfect candidate coming through the door. We were to list those things and be specific rather than generic, because there are potential real estate brokers that will be listening and watching this right now. What should we look for? Okay, I'll go through some of the things that I think are really important.
Yeah. Don't take them all, because I'm going to need some. You'll make me look quite stupid if you. I was going to say that one.
We'll do one at a time. So in no particular order. Okay. Personal hygiene.
Oh yeah.
That's something that I just is so important to me, that people can. We live in a hot country. We know it gets sweaty. Whenever I see a guy that keeps a spare shirt in his car, he's my kind of guy.
Yeah, and I used to do that as well, because I was absolutely sweating constantly. No, personal hygiene is massive. I'll go another side on personality-wise as well, yeah?
Anything?
So bounce back ability, or, the being able to be told no 100 times and still battering the phones. Like, I think that's so impressive. Or the people that don't get battered down when they lose a deal. The best brokers aren't working on one deal, they're working on 10, and that's why when that one doesn't go through, they're not crying about it. They understand that you're not going to close every single offer or every single deal. It's not how the world works. So, I think that's a big one.
People that understand, so I call it the rule of 21. I think you should always have 21 prospects, because 7 say no, 7 say yes, and 7 say maybe. And in any 1 month, if I get 7 of them in, then I'm fine. And the maybes might be next month. But
we call them ABCs. So example, if you're talking about listings, you have your A's, which are motivated sellers. You have your B's, which are, I'll sell, but in the next month or so, they're not as motivated. And you have your C's, the ones that turn around and go, oh yeah, I'll sell, but for my price. Yeah. So they're not realistic. And we use the exact same thing. You're just calling them 20. It's so interesting when you meet other people that just.
Okay, good. So we got that one. You'll go.
Sorry. Next one, I would say the thirst for knowledge. Like, you can't teach someone to want to learn more. But in the world we live in right now, when there is so much information that is adoptable, just jumping on your phone, like I actually did a training session on ChatGPT. I know it's so silly, but people in there, I just went on my phone and just went, tell me about this, and boom, it all rattled, and they're sitting there going, how has that just happened? And it's like, information is so accessible. If you want to learn about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, there's a 5-minute video on YouTube. If you want to learn about how the dirham's pegged to the dollar, there's a 5-minute video on YouTube. But yet we'll watch Love Island and, everything else and waste our time. Whereas I feel like our top brokers, they can have conversations with top level people, and top level people buy the biggest property. Therefore, they make the most money. So yeah, that's a big one for me, the thirst for knowledge.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that one. I like people, that are frustrated that there are too many public holidays.
There's nothing there. Hard workers, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Is that a pace thing, or is that because they work hard?
Well, a good example is recently. So we had the break, and then we had last week, we had another day off. And I was like, for goodness sake, how many public holidays we got? The ones that went to the office, not hey Spence, we're going to go to the office, do you mind? Didn't tell me that we're in the office working. Mm-hmm. They're your people. Yeah. The ones that, it's another public holiday, you know, for me, they're not my people.
No, you're right, and I get that. The fast movers, like quick decisions. Yeah. There's something about brokers right now, and it happens all the time. They'll be working on a deal and nothing else matters apart from that deal. But yet there could be so much other MMA money-making activity they could be doing in the meantime, but they're sitting waiting on a WhatsApp, staring at their phone to come back. Whereas the good brokers I know, it's like they're juggling 10 plates. And I know that's very different from dealing with deals I'm talking about. They're able to move at a pace and make decisions very quickly. They're fixers. They don't sit around going like, oh, what should I do? It's like, how can I improve this? How can I make this better? How can I do this for you? They're always going down that route of fixing problems, which I think that's a big thing for them.
Here's another one. You'll love this. It's going to piss a lot of people off. Early risers. Oh.
So it's only me and you up at that time.
It's only me and you on social media that are posted at 5 a.m.
Yeah. No, it's just because we need the validation.
Yeah. It's not so much the 5 a.m. gym thing. It's the guys that are first in the office. You know, those guys that are first in the office. And they're not first in the office because they want to shoot the shit and talk about the football, but they're first in because they've got shit to do. Yep. Okay. That to me shows a great hunger and a great desire. And I love it. And I just see it. And I love watching that happen, you know.
Absolutely. No, I agree. They've got accountability for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine with people needing accountability. Some high performers I know come to me and they say, Callum, I need a kick up the arse. Like, I need you to come over and just give me a kick up the bum because I need it. I've fallen off the wagon. That's okay. But I'm saying you can't have that forever. You need these people that are accountable. Because think about it, the higher a performer you are in most businesses, the more leeway you get. So therefore, there is no one chasing you saying, where are you? There is no one saying what you do and what are you up to. So therefore, the level of accountability you need to have for yourself needs to be massive. And I find that our top performers, their accountability, they're so annoyed when they're not doing well that the accountability is actually more frustration on coming anything but first.
It's interesting you call it that. So my old boss used to say, Spence, you self-bollock. Because he'd phone me up.
You're useless on it, like talking to yourself, like, well, you don't even deserve to be here. That's what I'd be like. No, it's like an itch you can't scratch. Like, I don't understand, and we're obviously, as business owners, like, you can't expect everyone to be like you, but I don't understand how people can be 0 on the board and leave the office at 6. It's an itch I can't scratch. I'd be like, until I'm tired and about to fall asleep, I would be in the office trying to think, what can I do to get me off that 0? Because tomorrow people are coming in and they're going to see that 0, and then they're going to think that I'm not that good. And that might be a part of me that needs a validation from them, but there's another part of me that I want to be the best. So it might be both, towards pleasure or away from pain. But yeah, it's a big thing for me.
It's interesting when you describe it like that. My boss, we used to have weekly figures. This is years and years ago. So we had weekly figures, and you used to have to shout your figures on Friday at 5 o'clock. And so you'd shout.
I wish we could still do that. There's too many people.
Yeah, and so you'd shout your figures, and we were all over the world. We're in 70 countries, but the figures would go in, and then on Monday morning, we'd get them on Saturday morning, but on Monday morning he'd call you. You know, the boss would give you a call to the office, and he'd call. And my minimum was £10,000.
Yeah.
And if I did less than £10,000, he'd call me and I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. And he'd be like, why? He goes, you did £8,000. Well done, mate. You did £8,000. And I'm like, yeah, shit. And he's like, that he goes, the fact that you wouldn't accept, you were just there below your standards.
But you know what's funny about that, Spence, is there's people in our company that I will go up to and I will wind up because they're doing well, but I know they want to do more. And then there's other people that you need to put an arm around and go, don't worry, mate, things are going. Like, you have to know your audience, and our top performers, like, I love going over to one of our top guys and I go, I'd watch out this time, mate. I know you're doing well, but he's got a big one to drop. And then I'll go back into the office and then my managing director will come in 10 minutes later and be like, I've got him, by the way. I just told him someone's got. I was like, I've just done that as well. We're both winding him up and he doesn't even know. But next thing you know, he's on the phones and he's trying to find a deal and he's scrambling because he's thinking he's not going to be top. And I just think you just need to know your audience. But that obviously shows, like, I find the biggest high performers like to be pushed with that pressure. It creates diamonds or rubble, and these guys, they thrive under that pressure most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. When I look at people's competitiveness, that's a lovely thing to see, isn't it? Like, it eats them up inside watching somebody else do better with them, and they have to clap them.
Oh,
and they're just like,
it's soul destroying.
Yeah. That's your kind of person. Isn't
Oh
it?
yeah, no, 100%. Like, and it's funny. There's definitely a direct correlation between people who have been in professional sports or taken sport through most of their life to sales, as in competitiveness. You can see it in our office. We have someone who was ex Great British boxer, Commonwealth. She is a fantastic broker. We have a few people that have played professional or semi-professional football for most of their adult life as well. Also fantastic. Other people that did other things too, but you can definitely see there's a correlation between them not wanting to lose and the sports background behind them.
Right, that's good as well. Okay, I always like military people.
Oh, okay.
People that have learned how to follow orders.
We've got 2 in the office, both army lads joined together. Both of them are in their areas top for the year. And they're just disciplined, processed. Like, don't get me wrong, you probably don't want to see them with a drink because you know what army lads can be like.
Yeah.
But they're great guys and they've never caused a bit of bother in the office since the day they started because they've probably got that, that 10 hut mindset, get prepared, and they're always prepared. And yeah, very interesting, because I was thinking about that recently actually, because we were on my Monday morning meeting. It was a week they'd both done well and I was talking about them both, and it was going from, being in the risk money and having all that worries to now what they do now is a bit more glamorous, earning more money, loving life, living in Dubai, and just from an army background.
For me, I find it fascinating why there's not more, because if you think you come out of the military, a lot of them either go into close protection or some form of surveillance work, or they become lorry drivers, because a lot of them in the military learn how to get their HGVs.
Oh, okay. And that's a high-paid job, isn't it?
Yeah. So, well, in the UK, reasonable money and also they can do long-distance journeys because they understand the rules, you know. And I see these people, and I'm like, why am not more of those in property? Because do you know what? You learn how to iron a shirt in the army.
Yeah. I could use a few of them more in the office, honestly.
You know how to shine your shoes. It's all those kind of things. And for me, it's that having that discipline. And I think with salespeople, it's about systems and processes more than it's about gift of the gab.
Secret sauce.
Yeah, secret sauce.
I agree with you, because I think there are the Lionel Messis out there, But at the end of the day, give me 100 people who can just do the job right, and I'd have that over the person that has that secret sauce, because the processes can be taught, and once they can be replicated, it's scalable. It's so scalable as a business, and then as well as that, you're creating other good people for those people to work with. I really like that about it.
What's really difficult to teach?
I find it really hard to deal with people who are down in the dumps about how tough life is, and like we do a lot of stuff trying to help people's mindsets. It's the way the world's going now, and a younger and younger demographic are joining real estate in Dubai, and they do come over here and they haven't ever been exposed to the big bad world. We have people that come straight from university or school. We've got 19, 20-year-olds now, and teaching people to have a resilient mindset is tough. It's kind of like you can't talk someone into being better at press-ups. They have to just go and do it, and then they're going to learn by doing. And that's kind of real estate. They're going to learn by losing a deal and losing another deal and losing another deal. And then a deal comes, and then you go, wow, this is actually good. And then you have another few bad days, and then you have another. It's really tough to go down that route of teaching anyone anything mindset. We can do the best we can, but again, some people just, they can't get out that negative mindset at times, and it can be tough, and that's why they don't last in the industry. But as far as actually teaching people, I find when people first move to Dubai, getting used to the Dubai way of working is something that is very hard to teach. The pace that we move at in Dubai is ridiculous compared to anywhere else in the world. The pace that deals are done, the pace that we work on WhatsApp, and not everything's done on email, and people getting used to that. It's not something that's too hard to get used to, but I'm saying there's people that just can't wrap their head around it and are still slow paced, and then you're sitting there going like, what's going on? We were meant to have done this yesterday. Oh no, well I was just going to phone them this morning because last night it was 8 o'clock and it was a bit late. I'm like, you didn't want to phone someone at 8 o'clock like about a deal that they're trying to, a property they want to buy, and you were worried to tell them at 8 o'clock. Like, these sort of things. Maybe it's a bit of a bad answer. I don't know, but
no, I agree with you.
I think that's two things that are definitely a bit tougher, because I think most sales tactics can be taught. I think that any sales techniques can be taught. I think processes, I love teaching processes. I think that scripts, anything like that, these can all be taught. And I think it's just a case of people believing that they can do it. Because I think confidence is a hard one actually to teach. Confidence comes from competence comes from practice, and too many people want confidence but without actually doing the work. Like sometimes when I'm training, I go to you, right guys, someone tell me about how to do this, and then they're all sitting there. I'm like, if you can't do it with your CEO in a room of your peers who care about you and want to see you do well, how can I trust you to go and do it with a multimillionaire and you only get one chance at it? And they're standing, why have you not put a video out on social media letting I'm worried people will judge me. This whole thing, it's like, do you want to be a multimillionaire or do you want to earn a couple 100,000? Like, what do you want to do? Because you have to have extreme action to get extreme results, and some people just don't have it.
So there were a couple of things that and I was, bear in mind, I was 18 when I learned to sell, and my first week in sales, I was taught something that I've never seen anybody else be taught since. Okay. And every time I tell it, I'm baffled why it's not been taught.
Let's see.
Rejection.
Well, the bad thing is I've been taught by you a couple of times through the years. So I'll be like, that one, you taught me that when I worked at PH. I remember that. But continue for the audience.
Okay. So I was taught in my first few days on the job, it was cold calling. And so it was knocking on doors in the morning, cold calling in the afternoon. So 100 door knocks in the city in London where I worked, my patch, and then 100 cold calls in the afternoon. That was the job for 18 months. But for the first week, my boss, when I got back from doing my door knocks, he said, right, I want you to make 100 cold calls, but I need you to get me 100 no's. And I was green, I don't know what's right or wrong. And I'm like, okay. So I make 100 cold calls, get 100 no's. I get to the end of the day, go and see him, say thanks he says thanks very much, gives me a high five, says brilliant job, I'll see you tomorrow. And I go home, I tell my mum over dinner, and she's like, really? Sounds a bit weird. Anyway, I go to work the next day. He said, do me a favour, I want another 100 no's today. Get me 100 no's. So I duly oblige. But there's a couple of people on the phone that are they're almost on the fence, they might be interested, but I'm talking them out of it. Felt weird. Does that. Third day does that. Gives me a high five, gives me a hug on the third day. Said, that was fantastic. Well done. I'm really pleased for you. Tomorrow, can you do me a favor and get me 99 no's and just one yes? And I'm like, sure. Okay. Bear in mind, I've had 3 days now of phoning, and I've had a couple of people half interested. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I can get it done. So I make these 100 calls and I get one person to say yes. Is that fantastic? Mega. Next day, do it again. Next day, do it again. Next day, can you do me a favor? Can you get me 98 no's? Now, this rolled out over the course of a month until I got to the place where I got 90 no's and 10 yeses. Well, that was a 1 in 10 closing ratio.
Great conversion rate.
Yeah. But over the course of months, but what he was teaching me to understand is that I'm not allowed to have the yeses without the no's. You've got to have the
No's aren't bad.
Yeah. And so you have to get the no's first to earn the yeses.
It's like,
and you know it. I know you're in sales, you know, and you get it. Okay. But that was taught to me in such a clear way and precise way that after a month, my ability to deal with rejection, I was indestructible.
Yeah.
You know, and
all you've had is that.
Yeah. And people, they'd say all kinds of horrible things to you, but it didn't matter. It sort of just bounced off me. And that's one thing I don't think people are taught, because how often do you still deal with salespeople going, oh, yeah, but that bloke said no, and I was gutted. You know?
We're still talking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I always describe it to people as, oh, you're still talking about that boy or girl that's not interested in you. That's what you're doing. It's like you're talking to your friends about that person. They're going, why are you still talking about him or her? You know, it's like we should be talking about the A's or the first 7, not the ones that are the C's that aren't interested. Like, why are we talking? People always want to talk about the C's. Every time I do a training session, they want to talk to me about the person that's not interested. I'm like, wait, do you have some people that are interested? Yeah. So why are you talking about these ones?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I've got another one for you. I was with a group the other day. They will listen to this and know me. So I said to everyone, how many contacts have you got on your phone? And so they didn't know. They went and looked. And so we're in a conference room, and I wrote down all of the contact numbers. Yeah. So one person had 1,000 and something. One person had 4,000. One person had 8,000. I'm like, it's mega. I've got all these people. I was like, who would like to generate 3 leads today? And they were like, yeah, I want to generate that. Okay, 3 leads guaranteed today. In the next hour, I can generate you 3 leads. But you're going to have to do something that you probably haven't done before. Like, what's that? I said, what I want you to do is I want you to write a message to every contact on your phone, on WhatsApp, to them, introducing yourself, telling them what you do, telling them how you help people, and asking them if they might be interested in having a call. That's all I want you to do. Send that out to everybody, okay? And I guarantee you, if you've got 1,000 people on your phone, 2 or 3 people will respond and say, I didn't know you sold houses. Yeah?
Yeah. I'm just laughing.
I want the camera to zoom in.
You know why
I'm
laughing, Spencer? Because I have these conversations so often. Like, you do sales over so many different aspects. Like, you got to think, everything every day is just real estate. Yeah. So like the stuff you're saying, I'm just sitting going like, I said this we had our meeting on Tuesday. It was the first. And I literally had said, guys, there's people in here that probably there's people out there that on your Instagram, they just think your job is going out at the weekend because you've got nothing on there about being an unbelievable real estate broker. If you don't want to do it, no problem. But I'm saying, why not for an extra £20,000, £50,000, £100,000? Is that worth posting a few things to let people know you're bloody good at what you do? And they make me laugh. And sorry to interject or commandeer, but like, it's just the stuff you're saying. I'm just sitting going like, it's.
So this was the outcome. Okay.
Yeah.
One person went, well, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, why not? Well, I dated a few blokes on Tinder and I've got their numbers in my phone and I've ghosted them. And the last thing I want is to open that interaction again. I'm like, okay, delete them. She goes, well, maybe I might want to see them again. I was like, all right, okay, well, maybe you could do a broadcast then, yeah? Another person said, oh, I don't have that many contacts over here, but all the excuses, yeah. I don't. But the real answer across most of them was fear.
Yep.
Okay, fear of being judged by somebody else. And so I find that a really fascinating thing because in your business, in my business, in other business I work with, this is a real thing that salespeople have. They fear what other people might think. Now, you produce social media content, so do I. I had my fair share of abuse when I first started doing it 8 or 9 years ago, and it doesn't matter now because it is what it is, and here we are with this podcast, etc. But, okay, people won't produce social media content because they're scared of what other people might say. They won't do a written paragraph to send out to people on WhatsApp because they're scared of what other people might think. In your experience, how do you get people over that hurdle?
There's 2 sides to it. So, because I need to give you an answer for people that perform and people that don't perform. With people that don't perform, you should have no shame because you got nothing to lose. Simple as that. If your bank account is not at the number that you want it to be at, or if you're not comfortably living, what are you scared of? Why are you scared of being in an elevator and going, oh, hi, I'm Callum. I work at White & Co. We do real estate. We sell properties. I'll sell on the PAM. If you ever need anything, here's my card. Is that tough? What are they going to turn around and say? Oh, I don't want your card. Go away. And even if they do, who cares? You're never going to see that person again. That's for the underperformers. You should have no shame. There should be no door that you can't knock. There should be no call that you can't make because you have nothing to lose. For the performers, it's very hard to get people that are making, and you know what some real estate brokers out here are like, that are making a hell of a lot of money to add some new tricks. And that's what I kind of look at it as. single channel risk. That's what I call it to them. If right now, today, Property Finder and Bayut disappeared, and any other portals that are out there, where's your business coming from? Oh, well, my phone book. Okay, would you like your phone book to have more people in case that happened? Yeah. Okay, so what are you going to do about it? And then on top of that, if you ever want to build your own brand or build your own company, when you go and open your own company, like you might be one of these people that go, I'm going to open my own company because I want to make more commission and make almost 100% or whatever it might be. Do you not want more clients that you can go directly to? Because Property Finder's not going to work that way for you, or Bayut, because you don't have a big business like we do. All these conversations happen, and it works differently because they've all got different motivations. Like some people are just happy where they are, and at the end of the day, is what it is. But we are managing to shake people into another way of thinking, and the way that's working is through evidence. We're having to show there's someone in our business. They did an amazing job actually. They started doing their social media in February
this year.
They got a lead in April from a seller, not a buyer. A seller reached out to him and they said, hey, I've got a villa for sale. It's 55 million. Can you help me sell it? He took that. He went and did a deal with someone else, split deal. He got 2%. Buyer's agent got 2%. 1.1 million on the board because he was using his social media. It took 4 months to pay off. 2 months to pay off, sorry. So in the training that I did recently with people about social media, guys, if I paid you, so just cutting that in half, so if 1.1 went on the board, cut that in half, is about £110,000. Guys, if I paid you all £110,000 and asked you to post about real estate once a week on your LinkedIn or Instagram, would you do it? Yeah. But so you won't do it now. You could earn more than that. But I'm just told you that someone in this room has done that. It's worth it to him because he tried it. But the bad part about social media is the result comes after. You have to get out your comfort zone first. So yeah, I mean, the way we're changing it was with evidence. That's the only thing you can do is keep trying to get people to do it, because I don't believe that in our industry we get a huge amount of leads from it, but brand awareness is massive. So I've seen you here, even just with my podcast and everything that I do. It's like, oh, I've seen you, like I'm on nights out and someone might say to me, oh, you were on my Instagram today. And it's fantastic. And I can only imagine for brokers how great that is, because as we know, referrals are the best thing you can have. So therefore, if someone's going, oh, actually you should get in touch with this guy, all I keep seeing is his videos on Instagram. It's very powerful. And I think that it needs to be done, but I think the only way to change it is by getting people to have evidence, because otherwise you're just telling them to do something and you've not got anything to back it up.
When you recruit people, do you look at their social media?
I do not. I don't know if our recruitment team does. I'll be honest with you, I don't think we do that much.
If someone had really good social media,
if I had good stuff,
20, 30,000 followers, they were producing content.
I'll be honest with you, I'd be lying to think that my recruiters didn't look, because they're both so good, and they're both so socially present on LinkedIn and Instagram that I think they would look. But I don't. I do think they would know. But then my biggest thing that I tell people when they do start in real estate straight away is, guys, I'll tell you what's way more exciting than just, because this is every new real estate broker's favourite thing now, is here's my day in the life, and it's them leaving their house and getting in their car and going into the office. And it's like, you know what's more interesting than that to sellers and buyers? You just sold. Here's a listing and here's how I sold it. Here's what happened with this buyer and here's what I did and here's how I got it closed. That's interesting. But if you've no evidence yet, because you've not got a track record, you've not got knowledge, you've not actually got confidence, and if you do have confidence, why have you got confidence? Because you've not got any of the other two things. You've not got knowledge or a track record. So what are you talking about? We had a guy with us, and a great guy, nice guy, not with us anymore, 3 months, and all he did was do social media videos. And I was like, mate, why are you talking all the time about all these, and he was talking in his videos as if he'd done a lot of deals. And I was like, I get social media and I hope things are going to work out for you, but you need to earn money to live in Dubai. So let's do that bit. This bit will come as well. I'm not telling you to stop doing it, but we need a bigger focus on that. It should be 90-10 maybe. He was like 90 on social media, 10 on actually doing the job. Everyone thinks there's a secret sauce to real estate. In the beginning, it's basics. It's very basic. You pick up listings, you put them live, you then receive leads, you qualify them and ask for the business, you then do viewings, you build rapport, you try and close. And at the end of the day, the good thing about sales these days is you're not actually trying to talk them into buying anything they don't want to buy. You're just educating and assuring them they're making the right decision. And if they don't like what you've shown them, you show them something else. And you show them something else. And if Spencer goes on a viewing with me, the only reason that I don't get paid is if Spencer eventually goes on a viewing with someone else. So how do I stop Spencer going on a viewing with someone else? We build trust. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. Mm-hmm. They didn't, oh no, but they said they really liked me. They said that, but they took a property through someone else. They didn't like you that much. Mm-hmm. It's simple as that. Stop getting confused with actions versus words. Sorry, I get passionate about it. I love it, but
we both care about this.
It's brilliant. It's but yeah, so it's like the job is really simple. It's not a hard job. It's just hard work. And in the beginning, the longer you do it, the easier it becomes. It just becomes like breathing.
How long should a new starter be in the business, in this industry, before they start making money, do you think?
Our deal for a sales broker to do in the first 6 weeks, and for a leasing broker 3.5 weeks.
Okay.
That's where it should be.
Before people earn decent money, is it fair to say it's a year's investment?
Yeah, year to survive, then year to thrive. So year to survive, then everything after that will start thriving. Don't get me wrong, we've had brokers come into the market, and other companies have too, that smash it in their first year. Anomalies, okay? Yeah. It doesn't. The average broker does not come into the market and smash it in year one. So they come into the market, they learn their trade. There's no other job in the world you go into and then start earning 200 grand a year, 300, 500 grand a year in your first year. But yet real estate brokers, we come in, some people might earn 100 grand and be like, oh, that was a rubbish year, It's like, no, that's your first year of learning. Mm-hmm. Like, you need to absorb everything, and then year 2, it's going to get better, and year 3, and your network is your net worth, really big time. And I know it's so cringy, but I love it because it's so true in real estate. It's never been more true in Dubai real estate than now, because relationships matter so much more with, for anyone that doesn't know, there's a rule now where only 3 companies can list a property. So when I was a broker, 20 companies could list a property, as many as they wanted. Could be 100 people, 100 different companies listing the same property. Whereas now it's only 3. When that becomes 2, and then it becomes 1, do your sellers know your name? Do your buyers think of you the first time when they want to buy? As soon as they're thinking, like, and this is the conversation I'm having all the time with these brokers, because I know some agencies aren't. So I'm trying to get them prepared for it, and it might not happen. But when it does, when I call your owners and I say, how's things getting on with Spencer? Who's Spencer? Or are they going to say, oh, Spencer was on the phone to me on Sunday, can't get him off the phone, great guy. That's what I want, and it's never been more important.
Interesting. All right, let's talk about the Dubai market.
Yeah.
It's interestingly evolved over the course of the 20 years since I've been here. Mm-hmm. I used to think my office was at a place called the Emirat Atrium building on the Sheikh Zayed Road. And that was next to Safa Park that once was. Yeah. That's no longer. And I thought I was at the epicenter of the world. Oh. Yet we had no Burj Khalifa, no Dubai Mall.
And no look at.
and everything's come since. Now we're obviously sold on it, but let's imagine we're talking to people in the UK that have heard the stuff about Palestine and Israel. They've heard the stuff about Iran. They've seen the Fitch report. They know that it's the new Marbella, or what seems to be bandied around a lot from the UK. What can we tell those people that are sitting in the UK now thinking, maybe I do need to move overseas and get out of this country, but don't know where to go?
There is nowhere else in the world with this level of safety, level of opportunity, and where working hard pays off as big as it does here. With what goes on in the world, I know it's really crazy to say it, and maybe I just don't watch the news as much as other people, but Dubai is a bubble where it's protected from the outside world. Not a bubble as in a real estate bubble, a bubble where I feel like, the war that happened with what's going on still with Russia and Ukraine didn't affect anything in Dubai, but unfortunately for them made it better. We just had all the money moved straight to Dubai. It did, that's what happened, whether we want to say it or not. Israel, Iran, Palestine, all that sort of stuff. No, we've not felt any difference. We've had some buyers and sellers obviously talking about it, and we understand that. But is this the new... When Russia and Ukraine started, guess what? Everyone said the same thing. If you'd have bought a property then, you'd have made more money now. When COVID happened, everyone said the same thing. If you'd bought a property then, where would you be now? Is this the next COVID or the next thing, which is the chance to get in on the market? Because Dubai isn't going anywhere. Dubai isn't slowing down. Dubai isn't under any sort of, threat or any sort of worry. Of course, any media out there doesn't want more people moving to Dubai, especially when I think there's 8,600 millionaires moving here from the UK. Who's going to pay all the tax in the UK if we all just leave? So obviously the Sun and the Mirror and whoever else's agenda out there wants people not to move here. And listen, I'll be honest with you, some of the places you do go, you do feel it's a bit like Marbella-ish. But Dubai is so huge, you just don't go there. All right? Because sometimes you do walk in places and you go, wow, this is a bit of a beach party. What's going on here? Cool, don't go there then. What is this obsession with people talking about a place they wouldn't go anyway? And the big thing about Dubai is, unlike other places in the world, even if that person who's in that Marbella spot in Dubai, they can't go walking along the street drunk to the next spot. It's not like there's a bar crawl that happens in Dubai. People are not falling about the streets drunk and acting like that. It's not how it works. I love this place. I'm a huge advocate for it. And
if someone wants to come and live over here and they're not going to work in real estate, let's remove real estate as an option, but they want to have opportunities and build a career and have a future. If you're outside of real estate, are there opportunities here as well?
there are opportunities everywhere. Sorry, that sounded really just like, everywhere. There's so many businesses moving to Dubai right now because of what it offers, whether it's tax, safety, private healthcare, not all the craziness going on elsewhere, because businesses think logically about this stuff. People, we can be very emotional. Okay, have you heard what's going on? Someone who's going to move, example, the headquarters of whatever multinational business or international business to Dubai, they don't just come over here and go, it's scary. They're going to do their due diligence. Okay, and then they're bringing all those people over here. They're creating more jobs. Anyone from that country is then moving here because they're going, let's go check this out. Everyone nowadays is holidaying in Dubai. It's now the most visited airport in the world. Which is fantastic. We've got more people visiting than ever. The population's rising at a crazy rate, which then on top of that, the Fitch report and all that sort of thing, the supply cannot keep up with the demand. Simple as that. There is no...
Well, I think that applies in work as well, because let's say you work in hospitality. Well, there's loads of that here.
Yeah.
Let's say that you work in accountancy.
Yeah.
Well, there's more and more companies being set up all the time, so there's that required here. Let's say you work in tax. Well, there's that because of all the people that are living here from a taxable place. That we've got VAT here. Pick an industry which is going to decline here, or pick an industry which is not doing as well here as it's doing in some other places in the world. And I'm struggling to find one.
I'd be struggling.
You and I want to set up a barbershop. Well, there's loads of people going to be here for that. Let's say we want to set up a sports business. It's like everything you look at, the opportunity is here. So if you do come here and you're a trained lawyer, there's work. If you come here a trained accountant, there's work. If you're a chef, there's work. If you're a quantity surveyor, there's work. It's like, where is there not work?
And this is the thing, I think, if people do the proper due diligence and they come over here and they actually explore it, because if you're going to move somewhere, like I moved here without even coming here, I just jumped on a plane. But I'm saying the world's a bit different.
You'd never been here before?
Never been here, I just jumped on a plane. Crazy. But anyone moving here, like wanting to move here, even just exploring it, it's worth whatever it'll cost you on a holiday. Get yourself over here and just feel it. And this whole thing, like the only thing that I can ever actually agree with people saying like, you know what, it's a bit hot. Yeah, it's a bit hot. That's it. That's the only thing. There are people here that are here for the work. Like, this is how my life is, or your life probably as well. We get up, we go to the gym, we work, we come home, we have a nice night. That's it. Whereas some people might like to party. Guess what? There's people in the UK that do that every night too. You've never been to bloody London. You've never been to Manchester, Liverpool, all these places. But for some reason, Dubai is glamorized as if all it is a place for going out and partying. It's certainly not. There are millions of people here that just come here, want to build a life, build a family, get a couple of pets, get a nice house and live the same life they'd live somewhere else, but with no tax, plenty of safety, perfect weather or hot weather every day. And I just think, I don't know what you can argue with.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go through other businesses that you set up, make sure I understand it. So we've got White & Co, which is the real estate brokerage. That was the first business you set up.
Yep.
You've set up a recruitment company?
Yep.
Okay, well,
so
that's called...
White & Clayton.
White & Clayton. So there's a recruitment company that recruits for the real estate industry?
No. So that recruits for other businesses and other industries. So again, when it comes back to jobs, our biggest sort of clients are FMCG. So it's all like, massive conglomerates that would look after Cadbury's or, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, you name it.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of business, actually, most of our business actually in the US. So we're internationally placing people into those businesses.
When did that business get set up?
That was 2 years ago.
Oh,
2 years ago now.
Years.
Yeah, 2 years ago now. There's a construction company which used to be called White & Co Design. It's now SOA, state of the art. And SOA is renovations, construction, demolition, interior design, anything you need. Kind of works in tandem with real estate. There's mortgages. Obviously, White & Co Mortgages. There is holiday homes, White & Co Holiday Homes, property management, White & Co Property Management. And then I also have a hair salon, which is based in...
As you do.
Which is based in JVC, called Sota, which is actually really, really good. It's unbelievable. I don't get involved with that much. There's an amazing person called Sophie that deals with all that. She is the...
So are these businesses you've funded or businesses that you set up?
Businesses that I own... But in each of them, there's people that are profit share of it. So essentially, in each of the other businesses, anything that's not got White and Co in the name, there's someone that runs it and they receive a profit share every month as if they own it. If they ever left that business, they'll get nada. Sorry, nothing for anyone that doesn't understand what nada is. But that, because at the end of the day, I don't want someone in there thinking like, oh yeah, I'll just build this up and then I'll go do something else and then I'll still get my money from here. That would be something very different. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. And a meal prep company as well, which yeah, it's based in Abu Dhabi actually. It's me and my friend Connor. It's called Coles. It's in
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, but it delivers to Dubai. But it's pretty phenomenal. We've had some. Really
so I have meal prep.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Well, we'll send you over some free stuff.
So it's called again?
Coles.
Thank you for that. And yeah, I get frustrated sometimes with meal prep companies. So
do I.
So because I don't want my wife is like, when we first met, she's like, I just want you to know, darling, that I don't cook. And if I left my maid to cook, then I'd be as fat as a house.
I'd feel the same.
Okay, so it's meal prep as well. Talk to me about where you see White & Co in 5 years' time. How old will you be in 5 years?
I'll be 37. Ugh.
I'll be 60.
Oh, well, we're getting there.
You'll be 37.
I still feel really young. I'm 32.
You are young.
I feel really young. Everyone says when you hit 30, it all goes downhill. I don't feel any different. I still feel like I'm 22. You know what? I'd love to give you some massive like, oh, we're going to be this and that. I don't have that answer for you. I want to make sure that we're employing good quality people, growing the business. We've done that whole fastest growing thing. That was fun for a while, but now it's a case where any people that we bring in, a bad bit of fruit spoils the bunch. You know what I mean? And that's where we need to avoid it now.
But do you not have some form of rollout map to say, you know, with 2024 revenue was X, 2025 revenue needs to be Y?
Oh yeah.
So you have those?
Yeah, I have. I know revenue and I know how much each person costs us. So I know how many people we need to hire to get to where we need to be. Every year, essentially, from now, if we're sitting with 350 agents at the moment, you could probably say in the next 5 years, we'd probably double that. 700 agents. It's just making sure that the agents don't get scared. That's the biggest problem is there's so many people in here, there's no stock for me, and keeping that mindset of that there is. Like, because if you didn't sell every property in the marina, someone else did, which means we didn't sell it, which means there can be more
but
people.
Isn't the advantage of working for a big company knowing you can walk down the corridor if you're in, I don't know, you do Arabian ranches, you can walk down the corridor because you've got a buyer that wants to buy in green community.
That's an advantage if they're in different areas. If they're in the same team, example, our marina team, which actually gets along really well and they don't argue, our marina team's like 28 people. And imagine like if I want 700 people, and yes, Dubai's growing, but it's not at that crazy level yet where I could double the amount of people we put in every area. Then I'd have, example, if we doubled that, we'd be at 54 people in one area. That would, the marina team would be sitting going like, what's going on? They'd all be fighting over stock. So it's just making sure it's manageable, because there's a company out there that has people around about that amount of people. But the hardest part was, Spence, when I opened, this was 2 years ago, I thought I could have 300 brokers and they'd all be very good. Whereas I've now realised, 2020, I need to have 700 to have 20% really good. 50, well, I usually do 25, 50, 25, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm always going to have that bad portion in there that's going to go through the washing machine. Mm-hmm. They're going to either leave real estate, go to another company, or eventually have the come at Jesus moment, and then I'm going to have those average performers. So to have 700 only means that you're sitting with just below 200 high performers. Mm-hmm. And high performers are amazing and I want more of them, but it does, obviously, the overheads grow, the amount of directors you need grow, the amount of conveyancers, all the businesses, all the facets need to grow with it, which then means massive overheads, which then means more risk. We just need to see what happens, but it's exciting.
Interesting. Right, some quick fire questions for you, okay? We'll go through these. I've got 4 questions. You ready?
Okay, yeah, hit me.
Okay, best investment you've ever made?
Moving to Dubai, no. Opening White & Co, my business. My business is the best investment I've ever made.
Okay, got it. Most underrated area in Dubai?
Underrated. The Mac Lagoons.
Oh, wow. One lesson you wish you learned earlier in business?
There's cynical, there's realist, and then there's visionary. Always be visionary with your goals.
Interesting. One book or podcast that changed your thinking?
It's got to be a Hormozy, hasn't it? Just listen to everything Alex Hormozy's ever put out, and I promise you, your business will 10x.
You're definitely a protege of his.
I honestly, there's never been a thing that he said that I really disagreed on.
I thank you for that. I love that when we spoke, when I came to your office about a month or so ago, you'd just come back from being in the States at Alex or Moses retreat, whatever it was you're at. I like someone that's still focused on personal development themselves. No matter how much success they've got, they still want to learn, they still want to grow, they still think there's more. Because that kind of attitude for me is just incredible in a successful entrepreneur. When you meet the guy, and I had a guy that's successful that works for me, and he's like, these guys that work for me now, there's nothing I can teach him. And I was like, right. He's like, well, as there's nothing I can teach them, we have to let them get on with it. And I'm like, don't you wish you knew more? And it was just like, no, I'm 44 years old now. I can't learn anything else. That for me was so negative. It's
mad. I went over there and I literally just, first time I've taken notes in 4 years. So you got to think I'm sitting there and I'm writing everything down and it's blowing my mind. I'm coming back. I'm getting goosebumps now. I promise you, I'm goosebumped. I'm charged. I walked into the office and I was doing training sessions every day with people and it was just a different feeling. And I'm literally just spouting everything that he's just taught back to them. And when he's saying it to me, I'm sitting there going like, this is the Messiah. He's teaching me everything new. So I can only imagine how these guys feel considering that I am relatively successful and they don't see themselves on that same level. So when I'm teaching it to them, like if they can implement that into their business, it's massive. And I honestly think that was one of the best things I ever did was go over there and do that. And I'll follow everything from that moving forward.
Is he someone that you'd wish you could just bring over here, close your office down for a week and just have him with everyone for a week, teaching everyone for a week?
It'd blow their minds. They wouldn't know what happened. Yeah, of course, I absolutely wish that. Yeah, I would love that.
Because even if 20% of it go, ping.
I know how I felt in there. And I was just, it was crazy. It really was. So, yeah. But there's other amazing mentors out there, but out of all the ones that I've followed over the years, the Gary V's, the Ryan Serhants, you name it, it's all of them, that one hits the most because it's no nonsense, there's no sugarcoating it, says it how it is, and always finds a way. Something I find really amazing is how you always tell someone is the best at what they do. They find a way to explain things that are difficult very easy. Like, see, if you're a real estate broker and you're just talking real estate jargon, then that's no good to anyone. You need to be able to talk in layman terms so everyone understands. And I think that what he does is he can make everything that he's talking about apply to any business. It's phenomenal.
Callum, it's been a joy talking to you today. Thank you so much for coming on the show, mate.
Thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate it.
This episode is proudly sponsored by Allsop & Allsop, Dubai's leading and largest real estate brokerage. Now, with over 16 years in business, Allsop & Allsop have transformed the real estate experience for thousands of buyers, sellers, landlords, and tenants. By leveraging cutting-edge technology and data-driven insights, they are the consistent driving force behind the growth of Dubai's real estate sector. Their unmatched expertise and industry knowledge empower clients to navigate the market with confidence, no matter what their needs. Committed to finding your perfect home, they, without exception, ensure your real estate experience is as seamless as the property itself. Whatever your property needs, keep moving with Allsop & Allsop, the trusted choice in Dubai real estate.